You want the lowdown on Ambien? I think it's the best sleeping pill, and I'll tell you why. Doesn't cause disgusty or a hangover like benzos do. It's actually not part of the benzo family. It's part of the Z-drug family. I've tried all the Z-drugs except for Sonata, and it beats them all. Oh, and Disgustia is heavy with Lunesta. I think anyone who's tried it knows that. Benzos last for hours and hours, so I think that actually causes more brain damage. It's a similar GABA feeling, you know, than Ambien, but Ambien is like a short burst. It's like drinking 100 beers in like an hour. And people are different with their insomnia. After I'm asleep, I have no problem staying asleep. All I need is that short hour-long Ambien burst. Actually getting high, I think people like benzos better, because you can actually remember it. Ambien is more like 10 minutes after taking it, you remember 1 minute of, hey, I'm tripping and I feel relaxed. And then you're asleep. It's a better sleeping pill, but it might not be a better high pill. People demonize the word high. Some people say I use Ambien to get high. That'll make Ambien look bad to people. I use Ambien for sleep. I will admit it, it gets you high for 2 minutes and probably like who the fuck knows how long after that, but I use it for sleep. There's a pleasant 2 minutes of hallucination that I get every time I take Ambien. Now there's a funny phenomenon. They say people in other countries take way more than the prescription dose so that they can use it without falling asleep and just get the hallucinogenic effects. You get a tolerance to the sedative effects more than the hallucinogenic effects. That's why if you first start taking it, you don't realize that it makes you trip balls. I know times that I'm like, shit, it's 20 minutes after taking Ambien. Like, I'm not really actually that gabbed at all. I turn on the lights, I look around, and fucking tripping balls. But I'm not quite that sleepy. I had an interesting experience once where I ate 4 Ambien, but I actually had a tolerance to GABA drugs. There's a cross tolerance and da-da-da. So I had a tolerance to the sedative effects because previously, the day before, my tolerance was that I ate 10 temazepam to fall asleep, and I've been doing that for days. Ran out of temazepam, had my Ambien, took 4 Ambien, and I totally had a tolerance to the sedative effects, so I was tripping balls. But, and not sleepy. I remember this fully because I didn't have that much GABA effect. But I was forgetful enough to redose on my regular 8 Benadryl. This is why I have my mom hold on to my Benadryl as well as my Ambien now, because I kept redosing on 8 Benadryl. I have no idea how many I took, but I remember a new hallucination. You know, like that dust that you see when it's really bright out? Well, that didn't exist, but I was seeing it. So I was seeing this dust, and then it would zoom towards me. That was a new hallucination. And then I was like, no, I'm not seeing that, to someone who wasn't there. I was like, oh, fuck, I better get to sleep. And sometimes I write a note, because people know when I'm on Ambien, but if someone sees me on Benadryl, they're going to fucking admit me to an insane place. But what I remember after that, I must have eaten like 32, I don't know how many times I redosed on 8 Benadryl. I remember walking into my brother's room, telling him that I overdosed on drugs. That didn't happen. I was just sitting in my bed. This is a weird thing. I kept remembering, why am I being quiet to these people? Why do I have to whisper? Every like 5 minutes I'd realize, oh shit, I'm talking to people who aren't there. And then I'd go back, and then I'd be like, why am I whispering to these people? So I was whispering to these hallucinogenic people that aren't there. I remember at one point, I was like, why the fuck is everybody in my room? Everybody I fucking know is in my room. But this is going too much into a diphenhydramine story. One thing I noticed with taking diphenhydramine and acid is that the mix of the two, delirium or whatever, like acid, you don't see shit necessarily that's not there. I've eaten so much acid that everything turns purple and I can't fucking see, but I don't see people that aren't there. What I've noticed with taking diphenhydramine with hallucinogen like Ambien or acid is that your mind is fucking mush. You will see whatever the fuck you want to see. You'll fucking have acid hallucinations as well as people that aren't there. And goddamn, when I get some scopolamine, there's gonna be some fucking hell rain on everybody, including myself. But back to Ambien. See, I want to defend Ambien, because every once in a while, and it's probably covered up by the evil pharmaceutical companies, people need to fucking have some fucking control. When you take Ambien, when you take 4 Ambien, what happens, you black out and you eat most of the entire bottle. Well, to be smart, you have someone else hold on to the bottle. There's even instructions to do that, and you really should do that. And other drugs too. You eat fucking everything. My YouTube that shows the face of Ambien really makes it look bad, but it is so fucking useful to the people who need it. If people use it safe, then they're not going to have any problems. Truth is, there's probably some cover-ups. I've heard of one person walking off a cliff on Stilnox, which is Ambien in another country. There's probably a lot more deaths that have happened from Ambien. But is that Ambien's fault? No, people just need some good instructions. Ambien is a good thing. I heard someone, I was talking on the phone, was like, I am the fullest person to admit every drug that I use. I always fucking admit every drug that I use. And he was trying, I told him, well, I don't have any sleep medication because he was trying to hook up, so I don't want to hang out with you tomorrow if I'm sleep deprived. And he's like, this is the only day I have off work. And I was like, well, I can't guarantee I'm going to get sleep, so if you hang out with me tomorrow, I'm going to be sleep deprived and I'm not going to be any fun. And he was like, you have an addiction to sleeping pills. And I put it to him like this. Well, actually, sort of beer, when I quit beer, which is a GABA drug similar to sleeping pills, I got insomnia. I don't know if it's from that, but it takes me 1 day, 8 hours to get to sleep, and sleeping pills haven't made it any worse, and I think they're good, but they might continue the problem. If I didn't have sleeping pills, my insomnia would probably get better. It might even fix itself, but that's my choice, you know? I had one of my friends just fucking throw this in my face. We were at a party, right? He's 1,000 times taller than me, but he's one of my good friends. He used to have a problem with oxycodone. I don't know how it came up. I wasn't even the one who started the conversation, and I don't even think I was talking about oxycodone. But he made this statement to me. He was like, man, pharmaceutical drugs are fucking worse than any fucking illegal drug because they fucking present them as they don't have any problems and they tell you to take them. And he was like, so fucking don't talk to me about pharmaceutical drugs or I'll punch you. I fucking went off. I fucking ripped it. I didn't beat him up, but he was like trying to stare me down. But fuck all that shit. I get it. I scream a lot at parties when I drink. But I fucking told that fucker, you can't just diss the pharmaceutical company right to my face and then tell me not to talk about it. Fuck, I wish I had that on recording. He's one of my good friends and I punked him the fuck out. You don't fucking diss the pharmaceutical company and not allow me to retort. I fucking shoved it in his face. You know, to be a friend, someone who has an oxycodone problem, I wouldn't just fucking, you know, shove it in his face. But when he says something like that, I shoved it in his fucking face. You don't fucking tell me you're gonna punch me if I talk about pharmaceuticals. You're gonna fucking get it. I told him off in front of all his friends, fucking crowds of people, an entire party. And his basic thing was that, like, they tell you that it's good, these pharmaceuticals are gonna help you. Let me think, you didn't get a prescription for Oxy 80s. You used to smoke like 3 or 4 Oxy 80s a day, yeah. Fucking the pharmaceutical company told you to do that, yeah. Blame it on them. You fuck! Fuck the people who try to demonize the word high and illegal drugs, and fuck the people who are too fucking pro-illegal drugs to diss on the pharmaceutical company. Do not fucking bite the hand that drugs you. You're a fucking adult. Handle your fucking drugs. Blame it on nobody but your fucking self.